Middle East is once again on the edge of a dangerous precipice. What began decades ago as a political and ideological rivalry between Iran and Israel has now exploded into open warfare, the first direct war between the two nations in modern history. So how did we get here, and what is happening now? The Israel-Iran conflict began over 40 years ago following Iran's 1979 Islamic Revolution. After the fall of the monarchy, a new religious government led by Ayatollah Khomeini took power and strongly opposed Israel, refusing to recognize it as a country. Iran also started backing anti-Israel groups like Hezbollah in Lebanon and Hamas in Gaza, fueling tensions that have lasted for decades. Over time, this rivalry deepened. Iran's leader called for destructions of Israel. Israel warned of the dangers of Iran's growing influence in the region. Both countries began conducting covert operations, cyber attacks, proxy wars across the Middle East. But the biggest flashpoint was Iran's nuclear program. For years, Israel and much of the West feared that Iran's nuclear program could be used to build an atomic bomb. Iran has always claimed its program is peaceful, but lack of transparency raised suspicion. In 2015, Iran agreed to limit its nuclear work under a deal with world power, but the US pulled out in 2018 and Iran restarted part of its program. Tensions spiked again in late 2024 when international inspector reported that Iran had enriched uranium far beyond permitted levels, a sign it was approaching weapon-grade material. Israel saw this as a red line. On April 1, 2024, an Israeli airstrike destroyed Iran's consulate in Damascus, killing 16 people including 2 generals. In retaliation, Iran launched over 300 missiles and drones at Israel on April 14th, most of which were intercepted with the help of a US-led coalition. Days after, on April 19, a suspected Israeli strike targeted an air defense site near Isfahan. And on July 31st, Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh was killed in Tehran by an apparent Israeli airstrike. On June 12, 2025, Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, a massive preemptive airstrike targeting over 100 Iranian military and nuclear sites. The following day, June 13, Israel intensified its campaign with strikes on Iran's nuclear and military infrastructure using warplanes and smuggled drones to kill top generals and scientists. On June 14, the attack expanded to Iran's energy sector and Iran continued launching missiles and drones at Israel. By June 15, Israel struck across Iran for a third consecutive day, threatening greater forces after Iranian missiles breached Israeli defenses and hit central sites, while planned US-Iran nuclear talks in Oman were called off. On June 13, Iran responded with Operation True Promise 3, launching hundreds of ballistic missiles and drones at Israeli cities including Tel Aviv and Rishon LeZion. While Israel's Iron Shield defense system intercepted most, some projectiles got through, causing light damages, and Iran is now preparing further retaliatory strikes and expected to formally declare war. As of June 2025, the war shows no sign of slowing down, peace talks seems unlikely, trust between Iran and Israel is non-existent. The Israel-Iran conflict has escalated from decades of proxy warfare and political hostility into a direct and devastating military confrontation. With both sides trading unprecedented strikes, the region teeters on the brink of full-scale war. Diplomatic channels have collapsed and each new attack deepens the cycle of retaliation. As the world watches with growing alarm, the Middle East stands at one of its most volatile and dangerous moments in recent history, with no clear path back from the edge.